Hello. Today I'm going to be talking about the Barron's publication article entitled Walmart Stock is Slipping After a Deal for UK Grocer Sainsbury Got Blocked. And it can be found at the following address. To summarize the article, it starts out about talking about Walmart's plan to combine its UK grocery unit ASDA with the supermarket chain Sainsbury. The deal would have given Walmart a 42% share of the combined entity, valued at roughly $9 billion. However, the UK regulators blocked this deal, arguing it would be anti-competitive and benefit shareholders over shoppers. And this new entity, combined with Tesco, would control 60% of the market share in the UK, which they felt is too much. The article mentions how this is just a small blow to Walmart, which is a much bigger company than it is to Sainsbury, which is relatively smaller. The article goes on to talk about sort of the implications of Brexit and how the UK's economy is turbulent right now, and how a lot of US investors and companies looking to open up shop there or do business there have been burned a bit lately, with an example being the Walgreens Boot Alliance, which is down more than 22% since the start of the year. And that was a US company that wanted UK exposure. Lastly, it goes on to give some numbers, with Walmart shares just down 0.2% to 103.32 after this was announced, compared to Sainsbury's down 2.3% to 11.85. Now I'm going to relate it to two main parts of the Chapter 7 merger and acquisition strategies. The first being how this is, a merger and acquisition, sort of the definition of itself, and how this deal was more a merger than an acquisition. A merger, as defined by the book, is a strategy through which two firms agree to integrate their operations on a relatively co-equal basis, whereas an acquisition is a strategy through which one firm buys a controlling or 100% interest in another firm with the intent of making the acquired firm a subsidiary business within its portfolio. Now, for this deal, a much larger firm, Walmart, was trying to merge one of its sort of subsidiaries, its smaller branches, the ASDA, with Sainsbury. Walmart opted not to acquire it outright, but instead combined the two into a new entity. This kind of goes against a lot of what we learned in the book, in that in the book, usually with a merger, one company will take the name, or at least from the Acquire board game we learned that. But here it's sort of a new entity entirely. And this sort of reinforces or adds to my knowledge in that I sort of know now in real life, sometimes even a larger firm doesn't just choose to acquire the smaller one outright, but might merge. The next topic I'm going to be talking about is cross-border acquisitions and merger. Here, from the book, it lists some reasons for acquisitions, but namely there's cross-border acquisitions, or in this case cross-border mergers, are made between companies with headquarters in different countries. The Walmart, a U.S. country, wants one of its smaller branches to merge with a UK company. Now, as the book mentions, there's a lot of reasons for doing it. And I would think, namely, Walmart sort of wants to get a foothold in a new market without opening up a Walmart store itself, as that brand might not hold as much weight in the UK as it does here. It wants an entirely new brand, a new name to the company that's not Sainsbury or ASDA. And then the book mentions in great detail some of the integration difficulties. It gives an example of a difficulty of opening up in China. And here, Walmart's facing a difficulty in opening up in the UK, as it was blocked. And that's, a significant problem a lot of companies face. The UK found that this new company would be too big, and so blocked the deal. And that does reinforce sort of what the book says, as difficulties sometimes they go through, and adds to my own knowledge now that I know sometimes even for, huge, well-prepared companies like Walmart, sometimes things don't always go their way, and sometimes they face regulatory problems in other countries.